contributed. And if you look at the trends and what's happening today in the internet and technology, a lot of developments, a lot of activities in Africa, a lot of interesting trends happening globally, and a lot of these things actually are coming right here to Kenya now that we have the fiber. So what does the future look like? This is what we used to call the Lunatic Express. It was the Kenya-Uganda railway that was set up sometime in the late 1800s. And some of the interesting things about it were that it was called the Lunatic Express because at the time the British Parliament thought it was completely ludicrous to go to a country where the natives, as it were, and build what was then about almost $1 billion $1 billion US worth of money into a railway. But ultimately, when you look at the Lunatic Express, you find that it actually drove a lot of economic growth. Until today, we still have the Lunatic Express running. Next one. So we've come a long way. If you remember, in the early days of the internet, in the early days of telecommunications in Kenya, that was the infrastructure we had, where these cables, these copper wires going on poles and running between places, and that's how you made your connection. And I remember when I first started working back in '96, this is what we used to call this was the best modem you could buy. This was the Hayes Acura, 28.8K. It was a very expensive modem at the time. I think we used to buy it for 30 or 40,000 shillings, and that was considered a very fast connection on the infrastructure I just showed you. And now, today, even a cattle herder, a Maasai man, can be herding his cattle. He's on a mobile phone. He's talking to the other Maasai guy and asking him, okay, so where's the best place to take our cows? So, I mean, that's how far we've come, from the steam engine all the way to Maasai having a mobile phone and talking to other herders and looking for the best pasture for their cattle. So what will the internet achieve? This is the Teams cable, the Seacom cable coming. This is when they were pulling it in at Fort Jesus in Mombasa, going out to the sea, giving us a very fast connection, what I'd call a web speed connection, light speed, out to the internet. The scenario today, email and SMS are very popular. Everyone's using it. Internet prices are dropping every day. You can see the offers in the papers, on the promotions. Seacom's already live. Teams is going live anytime soon. We also have the ICT bill, which means now we have the framework for e-commerce and online transactions and digital certificates in Kenya. We've got over 4 million internet users today, estimated, and mobile users at about 17 million today. And also we've got alternative payment systems. We don't really have a major penetration of credit cards in Kenya, so basically online payments will probably happen initially on systems like M-Pesa and Zap. So what does this all mean? This is probably all over Nairobi, you're seeing this happening, digging up the trenches, putting in the fiber, connecting you to this high-speed internet connection. So in terms of government, when we look at the government and the scenario and the implications for them, really it's about the opportunity to start using e-government, to give government-to-government services, government-to-business, and government-to-citizenry more access to services, better infrastructure, better service delivery for the general population. It's also about creating more competitiveness, especially in business process outsourcing, which is a major area today, a major focus for the government, how we can start doing call centers and that sort of thing. It's also about creating new jobs and industries, as well as improving our existing industries in terms of productivity. So that's things like agriculture, education, and so forth. All these can be e-enabled, as it were, to make them more efficient and more productive. And also enhance education via e-learning, taking education to the masses, to rural Kenya, cost-effectively, efficiently, using technology. In terms of business, it's really about being on world-class infrastructure, being able to transact and interact with your partners and communities abroad through applications and content, improved access to global markets, building websites, doing transactions, and so forth. And then the idea that really communications is going to be nearly free, that it's going to be so cost effective. I mean, you'll be talking to somebody in New York on a video conference as if it was just down the road, across the road here in Nairobi. At the same time, looking at how the communications is converging, or running voice, or running video on this technology and this infrastructure. Workforce productivity is going to be massively improved. And also the emergence of new and enhanced business models, new types of businesses that we've never seen in Kenya before, possible through this technology. In terms of citizens, the ability to access multimedia content anywhere, anytime. You want to stream your YouTube to your phone. You want to chat with somebody in real time on your phone, you can do that. Improve social networking. The idea that you can work from anywhere at any time, provided you have a connection. I believe many of us have started doing this today using something like a Safaricom Bamba connection. You're literally sitting in a garden somewhere and you're working and you're sending emails and doing stuff. And also access to m-commerce and e-commerce as well as e-government services. So is this internet nirvana for Kenya? Is this the perfection we're looking for? And really, to be honest, it's not that simple. There's a lot of global competition. Kenya is not the only place where people can get services, so we're really competing on a global level. So even if we have the fiber, we're only just starting to realize that we're actually competing globally on that same platform. Investment climate is very mobile. Money is going everywhere. Again, we have to compete for that. There's a major painful transition we need to look at. Kenya is still very much an agrarian society. There's the fact that we've not even reached the industrial age per se, and we're now going to jump into the knowledge age. So we're looking at a massive, painful jump in terms of just the speed and change of transition there. And really, again, because of climate change, we need to also now again start looking at moving towards being a green economy as well. So technology and a green economy at the same time. So what's needed to make this work? Yeah, what's going to take to make this fiber work, and what are the considerations that we need to think about? Firstly, infrastructure. A lot of the infrastructure is improving. We've got the 3G networks now, but that tends to be largely in the urban aspects of Kenya. What about in the rural areas where people are? Deployment of next generation infrastructure, things like WiMAX, 4G or 4G eventually, and also that last mile of delivery. You can still have a very fast connection, but that last mile of delivery to your phone, to your computer, if that is not high quality, then you're not getting the full benefit of the bandwidth. And then the idea of innovation. I mean, it's time to rethink everything that we do. It's not just about business as usual. Can we start to think of new business concepts, new business models? How can we attach an e-marketplace to, let's say, the tea sector, for instance? Yeah, so enabling what has been there and actually giving it an e-aspect globally. In terms of content, this is one of the most talked about issues. There's very limited content online today. I tend to think that the content exists, but it's not digital. It's out there on print. It's on analog video. It's on a lot of traditional media, analog media. And really, there's a massive opportunity and also a huge challenge to convert all of that material and put it online. At the same time, there's also the opportunity to create a lot of original content specifically for the online media. And lastly, at the end of the day, if you have content, you have interest, you have growth of traffic, you have value. So if you can start moving from putting the content online and creating value with that information. E-inclusion, at the end of the day, you can have the infrastructure, but if people don't know what its value is, it's of no use. So we need to create a little more e-literacy, both in government, in the citizenry as a whole, and also in business. We need to create e-inclusion programs so everybody's sort of getting on board and starting to learn what this technology, what this implication is. I'm glad to see that the government has already done some partnerships like the Pasha program to create the e-villages. I know Google is also doing some things, and that's very interesting in terms of trying to push the technology right out to the people. There's also a need to improve the confidence and trust of technology. People are still only just starting to get to grips with what technology is all about in Kenya, and trying to create scenarios where they actually understand what it means and how it works. And really the fundamental understanding of the socio-economic benefits of this technology. In terms of partnerships, very important, public-private sector partnerships. Government and business must work together to realize their full potential. And really it's about business driving innovation, and I think the government providing an environment that is going to actually drive opportunities. And then citizens, I think, must be able to fully participate, be a part of this bandwagon that's moving, and actually create value in the process as well. In a nutshell, the high-speed internet is here, and there's a lot of opportunity for government, for business, for individuals. And really, it's a game changer. If we use it right, it's going to level the playing field. It's going to change a lot about what we know today and the opportunities that are out there for us as Kenyans. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask you one or two things. What is it like being what made you become a blogger? What is that? Why do people do that?
Okay, I think it's the same reason I'm here today. I mean, they're good ideas, there's stuff that you want to talk about, things that you're passionate about, and the internet is the best outlet, and a blog is one of the cheapest, most cost-effective ways of doing that.
Okay. Yeah. Are you getting good conversations on your blog?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lots of interesting and sometimes controversial conversations.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much.